Hello everybody, it is Saturday, so I wanted to go see the thrift store today because they said yesterday that stores would be open again starting today, but apparently the thrift store is not one of them. They decided that they actually wanted to open on Tuesday instead, which is kind of stupid if you ask me. You would think that there would be more people coming over on a Saturday than on a Tuesday, but apparently they don't think so, or they don't want to earn any money or something, I don't know. So that kind of canceled my plans to go thrifting today. I guess I'll go next week or something. I don't know, maybe I'll go on a Tuesday or Wednesday whenever I feel like I have a bit of time and I want to go someplace. Now that means I have to go do something else on my Saturday. Anyway, so the rest of the week has been fairly quiet, kind of cold at the house because the heating bills are going to be very high at the end of this year. Apparently, according to this petition that's out there right now, due to gas shortages, at least that's the excuse, so to speak, they're going to change the ratings. I think it's about 100% higher than it used to be. In any case, much higher than it used to be or should be. And there's a petition going, like I said, so maybe they'll change that somehow. But either way, I'm expecting that the bill is going to be pretty damn high, so I'm just going to have to figure some other things out. So I went and got myself a little heater that I can just switch on, like electrical heater, that will at least make the room warm enough for me to be comfortable and without having to turn on the actual heat, which is kind of annoying because I have a heater, like a really long one in the living room that heats it just fine, but I can't use that because it's too expensive. So now I got this little oil heater that's it doesn't require you to put oil in it, but it's just like a regular radiator looking thing, and it's got like oil inside of it instead of water or something. I think that's how it works. Anyway, so I got one of those. I put it under my desk because the heat, of course, goes straight up from the heater, and if it has to heat the entire room, then that's going to be a bit much for a small heater to heat the entire room by itself. So I figured if I just put it under the desk, then the hot air will at least come like wafting towards me under the desk, and I'll feel warm a lot faster without actually needing to heat up the entire room first, because all the hot air goes to the ceiling, and of course I don't work at the ceiling, I'm at the floor level, so I'm not going to notice that until it's been running maybe the entire day, and then I'll notice like a few degrees difference in temperature. So I got that going. It wasn't too expensive, but the thing also was, because the stores were closed up until today, at least most of them are opening up today, I wasn't able to go and take a look, for instance, what the local hardware store had in the ways of heaters. So they had this system where you're supposed to order it first and then go pick it up, but on their website I couldn't quite tell what items they had there or not. So there would have been a good chance that I tried to order a heater and try to pick it up, and then they wouldn't have it because it was only available in certain other stores, and then I'd have to wait a couple extra days for it to be transported this way, and maybe have to pay extra costs. I don't know. Either way, it was really annoying. So that did not suit me. So instead I ordered one online and they delivered that the next day. So that was very nice. It was very quick service. It's pretty busy here, actually. I think maybe other people are also driving around to see who's open and who's not, because as I was looking or driving around the secondhand store to see if it was open or not, there's another car in front of me that turned around because they apparently were also trying to go to a secondhand store, and others were following us and everything. So it was like really busy, and I don't know where everybody else is heading. Traditionally, Saturday is kind of like a grocery shopping day, so I guess a lot of people are going to the grocery store. I think I'll be going too, just to get some things. I think I'm gonna go to a grocery store that's in another town. I already said that I was gonna go by train, so there I'll go and check out this grocery store that I think has a particular brand of milk powder that they're not selling anymore around here for some reason. The Jumbo used to carry it, but for whatever reason they stopped carrying it, and they now only sell those yellow boxes of powdered milk, which are actually not that good and also comparatively a lot more expensive. So I'm looking for like the cans from 2 Cows, I think that's what it's called, so I'm gonna go look for that. Not much else happening. Hope you guys are doing well. It's a very short video. I might actually tag something onto the end of this, because last week I think I did that was the 31st, 31st of December, I uploaded the video about what I expected to happen during this year and the ratings that I gave the previous years. And a while back, I believe you may have seen me do a video with the seeds that I planted in those little pots and stuff, so I think I'll do like an update on that as well. So that's going to be part 2 of this video. So we're going to take a look at that right now. Okay, part two. These are the seeds that I was talking about. I don't know exactly when I uploaded it, but I think this was something I did early last year, so early 2021. And as you can see, I made 3 different pots, and I think I made the pots on the stream as well, or just talked about the idea. I'm not really sure. You can go back and watch that video. I might, if I find it, link it in the top right corner. You might see a little eye thing popping up, and you can take a look at that video. Or at least the one where I talked about it. But in any case, let's take a look at what I had set up here and what I did for those particular goals that I was going to work on. Now, first over here, we have new skills. I wanted to learn some new skills. Next to that, we have new job. All right, that's definitely something that I managed. And household chores, plus like do more household chores. Over here with the new skills, every time that I did something that I considered to be a new skill or an investment in a new skill, I made a little extra green bump, so to speak. Like a little piece of the stem, which would represent the plant growing. Now, none of these actually have a flower on top, but that's because I'm very picky, so I don't really consider something really fulfilled until I've reached some amazing goal. But okay, here I have a few things that I managed to do. For instance, start learning algebra. I put that down there. That's because I had downloaded an app where you could learn some algebra. What's that? And I think I also found a YouTube channel which taught us some algebra as well. I looked into that for a bit, but actually I'm not really interested in math of any type, so I quickly let go of that as well. But it was an attempt, so it was at least a way to get the shoot to start growing. Then over here it says UX fundamentals, because at my previous job I was doing UX design, which I hadn't actually been trained for, and which they were also not paying me to go and study for either, so I had to do that myself. And I found this free e-learning that I could follow, and it was actually quite nice for a start, so that was a big thing for me, so I gave that a big piece of the stem. Then I said started garden, because I hadn't gardened before. Well, I have gardened before, quote unquote, like I've put stuff in the ground before. But this year I actually had like the whole box outside in the balcony where I started growing some vegetables and stuff like that. So that really was worthy of a leaf, literally. Improved driving, yep, that's another thing that happened. Although I don't think I was ever a great driver from the start anyway. I was able to drive earlier when I had just gotten my license, and then a couple of years after that, merger happened at work, so I wasn't able to drive too much anymore, and then I spent like 10 years not driving. So the last couple of years, and particularly the last year, I've done more driving and gotten more comfortable behind the wheel, so I definitely consider that a new skill. And on top of that, we have refill car fluids over there. I'm not very confident with engines and whatever is in there, so I was already quite happy that I managed to refill a bunch of stuff and knew where it was. So that is also a new skill bonus there, or at least something that made the new skill plant grow. Now this one, new job. These are the things I did in order to try and get a new job. So for instance, here is the job search right at the beginning. That's where you gotta start. Coffee page plus big site, that is something to do with a little side hustle that I was working on. There you see on the right tarot reading. Sales page is also one of the things. I think that's connected to the both of them, that's right. Also, UX designer added to LinkedIn, because you do need to show people on LinkedIn what it is that you're doing or what it is that you are capable of, so that if you are looking for a new job, they will know that that is what you're good for. Also, I added some YouTube shorts to my channels. That's also to promote the tarot one. Then the last one on top of that is recruiter interview. Now this is right before I got my job interview with the people that I currently work for, so that was also a big step to have a recruiter interview where somebody actually calls you and interviews about, basically just to see what you're like and what type of work you're interested in, and then they have like a position that they're interested in trying to propose you for. Because recruiters, they basically just call companies and say, hey, I have a candidate for XYZ opening that you have, and if they actually hire you through the recruiter, then the recruiter gets like a bonus. That's why they're always very happy to talk to you. But anyway, that didn't really turn into anything, but that's okay, because right after that you can see that the plants stopped growing because we were done with this pot. I should probably put a flower on top of this then, because this is now something that has actually grown into a new thing, because I got a new job. So that's one ended right there. Now over here we have the household chores one, and I consider lots of things household chores. Basically anything that has to do with keeping a house, and includes all sorts of administration and stuff like that. I think I forgot to add something to that. Let's see now. First of all, LR plus K, sweep, clear up. Oh, living room plus kitchen, sweep up, clear up, bathroom clean, plus cleared. These are all little things that I did in order to clean the house, sweep floors, clear Christmas stuff. Yeah, also something you need to do. Take out the plastic and paper trash. That's something that tends to pile up. So these are all little things that you would do normally. Old PC upstairs. Alright, so I had like a PC standing here. I currently have that laptop. The one that I used to use before this was under my desk for a long time because it's like a hassle to try and get it up the stairs. But I did that ultimately, and so that happened during 2021, which apparently made me so happy that I gave it a piece of the plans. Shoe rack plus desk bike moved, right? That was a similar type of thing. It used to stand in the living room. It was kind of in the way, so eventually I just moved that, and then I have more space in my little computer corner. Once again, take out paper, plastic, and what's that say? Miscellaneous trash. Oh, it's miscellaneous. I can't even read my own handwriting sometimes. Yep, that needs to happen. I stopped adding those. As you can see, this plant also stopped growing after a while. That's because I had to put it somewhere else, this entire thing, because it was first visible in the living room, and then I got like a bunch of visitors and stuff like that, and I don't really like questions about this type of thing. I already have like this to-do thing on the wall with nothing on it. That already got me a lot of questions from people like, oh, what's this to do, doing done, what's that? And I just don't really care about answering those questions because it's none of their business. Anyway, so I also cleaned the oven. That was actually worth a leave for sure, because the oven that I have is the oven that was left to me by the people who used to live here, and they didn't clean it ever, so it was really caked on there. So I spent a couple of days trying different cleaning methods, and eventually it is acceptable. Not quite clean yet, like you can still see like dark markings where there used to be whatever sauce that just continuously got burnt in the oven because they didn't try to clean it. But okay, it's clean enough that I could use it if I wanted to do that. And the last part over there is taxes done. It's one of those things that happens every year. We'll probably get it in a couple of months again. It's one of those things I always trying to postpone as much as possible. And I managed to get it done every year regardless, and usually afterwards it turns out to have been less of a trouble than I thought, or a bother rather. And so that is the last thing on top of the household stuff. I just continue to do the same type of thing anyway, because once this plant has a solid growth spurt, I think it's one of those things where you tend to get used to doing those things, and then you don't really need to add a little piece of the plant every time you do something like that, because it's like part of your system now. And that was the whole idea about this. Might do it again at some point. I don't know if I'll do it this year. I might, because of course I have some goals written on the chart that I made a couple weeks ago, so maybe I'll make a couple of new pots for that. And if I do, I'll be sure to let you know. If you guys did this as well, then make sure to let me know how yours are looking. Post a picture maybe in Discord, and in any case, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, and bye bye for now.